If you're divorced and you're still carrying your ex-husband's last name, you could be carrying a lot of extra baggage that you didn't sign up for, and here's why. I've been hearing a lot of women talk about how they are keeping their ex-husband's last name because it gives them the sense of satisfaction after their ex has moved on with another woman, and keeping the last name is some sort of like claiming that they were there first. There is so much energy that is tied to a name. What your name is says a lot about your personality. It says a lot about your character. It's a name that you hold and that you carry and that you attach to everything that you do. If you are truly trying to move on from that divorce, sis, you need to drop that last name fast. Keeping this last name could be the one thing preventing you from having a breakthrough and having your best life ever.
You know what, fam? I'm going to agree with this queen, but for very different reasons. Now, she says that dropping a last name is what's holding her back from having her best life ever. And she needs to let it go because it doesn't give them power over their ex-husbands. Allow this gorilla to give you femme fatales out there a different angle on this. If you decide to keep your ex-husband's last name, that tells this gorilla all he needs to know. You can't let go. I mean, I swear, if you divorce your husband and you keep the last name and you decide to come around later, 1, 2, 3 years later saying, oh, well, I'm over you. You need to get over me. I'm already past this and I'm happy. No. Sorry there, queen. You decide to keep the last name. The one who's not over anything is you. Yeah, that's like this gorilla saying that he's done drinking. I'm only going to drink on days that end with Y. Moving on. Before we move on, I want to bring to attention that 75% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
I just lost like 2 hours of my life. Does anybody else go down rabbit holes? So like, a few hours ago, I was laying on the couch. It's been a weird week. So I'm laying on the couch and I get on the book face. Now, I don't ever get on the book face, guys. Well, I get on the book face and I see I've got this invite to this group. This group is called, Are We Dating the Same Guy? Have any of you guys ever seen any of these groups? Or I was mind blown. So like, I'm scrolling through these posts because I'm nosy as shit. You already know this. So I'm scrolling through these posts and I'm like, damn, John from Cheyenne he's been posted on this group like 6 times. Like, he's dating 16 different women. And I'm just mind blown. So then I gotta keep scrolling. I gotta keep going, guys. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Have y'all ever heard of one of these groups? Do you guys go down the rabbit holes and lose hours like I just did?
Show of hands for everybody who knew. Bingo.
You know, ladies, for those of you who don't believe it, when this gorilla on this channel and many other channels like mine repeat the same thing, that 80% of the women are always going for the top 20% of the men, then you have to stop and listen to videos like this one, like this queen, and you have to realize at one point, this is just evidence to what we're saying. Okay, she said she got on the book face and was there with a bunch of other women probably around her age, in her 40s. And all of them are posting pictures of the same guy, that they're dating the same guy. Let's assume that most of these women are being honest and this is true. What does this prove? It proves that Chad/Tyrone have the best pole on the carousel and all of you women want to ride on it. Come on. Do you think this is just coincidence? No! So, when you reach this age, when you get back out on the dating market, what do you think is going to happen? Do you honestly believe that, oh, I'm going to leave the good man who's been with me for 10, 15, 20 years, and I'm going to go out there and find my soulmate, my Prince Charming, because I'm no longer happy? No, it's not that you're not happy, sister. It's that you're bored. This crap could be resolved with you getting a bunch of books and going to the movies and realizing, holy snap, I actually have a good thing here. Why am I going to screw it up? Well, we already know why. It's because that bad boy Thunderschlong is like the devil's pipe, bro. I mean, we've all heard of devil's ham. You women want to upgrade to devil's tube steak. Moving on.
If you are considering leaving your partner, or you think that your partner is about to leave you, listen to the words I'm about to say. Also, if you received this from somebody, you need to bookmark, save, like, take notes on everything I'm about to tell you. I am 5 years post-divorce and I'm remarried. I have a very good relationship with my husband. We have a new daughter together. We're a blended family. I have read over 50 something books on marriage, divorce, attachment theory, all the things, have spent literally tens of thousands of dollars in therapy. And I wish somebody would have sent me a video like this before my divorce. Sarah's comment, I made this decision and regret it 100%. My ex was a great man. I just thought I'd be happier alone after 20 years of marriage, but I was miserable and my daughter was miserable. Biggest mistake ever. First of all, Sarah, thank you for your authentic transparency. It is refreshing, but also extremely sad. I'm sorry that you've gone through that. And here's what I want to say. No matter the path you take, whether it's staying in the relationship or going through the divorce, both situations take work. Staying in a relationship takes work to have a healthy marriage. And when you decide or whatever to pull the trigger on divorce, you're going to have an entire set of new things to work on going through your divorce. And then multiply that by 10 if you have children.
Starting off, I gotta agree with this queen. She is absolutely right. When you get divorced or stay together, it's gonna take work both ways. It's amazing how many women decide that they want to get divorced because the grass is greener on the other side after a long period of marriage, because somehow, some way, ending up alone at middle age is gonna be awesome. And dragging their kids in through this is gonna make it twice as fun. And I gotta say, that little message that she's responding to of the woman who divorced her husband after 20 years of marriage and is now miserable, that's not rare. That's a lot more common than you think. Unfortunately, you can only confirm it when women are willing to admit to it. A lot of what they do is create internet videos and decide, okay, you know what, I'm gonna fake it till I make it maybe. A minority will actually say it. Yeah, I made a big mistake. Now, what I don't agree with is when she says that she feels sorry for her going through this. No. You see, she left her husband. She divorced her husband. The one you should be feeling sorry for is her daughter, who's miserable because of her greedy decision. She thought that she could be Miss Awesome Captain Marvel, smashing through alien ships, and is going to be the hero of her own story. Unfortunately, reality had a different ending for her, as in a not-so-happy ending. So yes, ladies, divorce comes with a lot of work. Not just the divorce, it's also what comes afterwards. Even receiving alimony payments and child support. Life is rough. It's going to kick your butt eventually. The one thing that really gets to this gorilla is women that cheat/divorce good men that are taking care of them. No, I didn't say I didn't understand why. I know exactly why. It's because of the all-important feels before reels. This coach is on a roll. I want to hear what else she has to say.
So if you're watching this and you think your partner is about to leave you, or you're considering leaving your partner, you have to choose your hard, because both are hard. And relationships forever are going to take work. You might think that this relationship is too much work for you and then you move on to somebody else, but surprise, you're going to have to work in that relationship too. So if you haven't even been to therapy with your partner, if you've not picked up a self-help book or listened to podcasts, I'm telling you, before you make the jump to divorce, especially with children, start with that. Start with doing some work, because when you go through a divorce, it is an entire, it takes work to leave somebody. It's not just you sign some papers. When kids are involved, it's not you just sign some papers and you move on. You then have to figure out how to co-parent with somebody that you believe is your enemy. You have to figure out how to pay all of your bills by yourself and be a solo parent. You're going to have to find a new community of friends, because the old community that you were in no longer can relate to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say before you divorce. I'm telling you, the dynamics change. You might have somebody who brings you to court every 6 months. We call them frequent filers. You're only going to see your kids half the time, most likely, which also means you're going to be sharing holidays. So you're going to spend some holidays probably alone without your children. You literally are going to miss out on half of your children's lives. Half. It is the most painful thing. There are no words. So I'm just saying, you have to choose your hard here. Both are extremely hard. It's hard. Even in my new relationship with my husband, it takes work.
Wait a second, Queen. Are you saying that when women get divorced, they actually have to sacrifice things? There's such a thing as a 50-50 co-parenting? You mean they can't just get the alimony, that child support money, and keep the kids most of the time? Keep the kids away from the father the majority of the time? They actually have to share? No. And they actually have to pay for their own bills, take care of themselves? But their field said that it would be better when they're alone. I mean, to date again in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, it's going to be just as fun as it was in their 20s, right? Why does it take work after divorcing a man? I mean, that's not fair. They should automatically take more than half of everything their man earned. I mean, they suffered being married to the guy while he took care of her, so obviously because they were married for X amount of years, he should be obligated to take care of her for the rest of her life. Unfortunately, there's this thing called reality that is going to burst that bubble. Yeah, that's right, ladies. Your fields may be extremely important, but when was the last time your fields wrote a check to pay off the electric bill? Since when does your fields repair the car? Since when does that desire to find yourself again pay the rent? Or the mortgage. Now, this coach is right when she said that if it's tough enough when you're alone with kids, it's 10 times as hard. And we all know that a lot of women out there will justify it by saying that they left the child's father for the betterment of their lives. So the kids are going to think, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You're pulling me away from my father who's built up a home, and you're going to drag me through the hell of having less money and less resources, all for my benefit? Not to mention, you're going to give the kids the wonders of the kids meeting the new boyfriend that you're bringing around to replace their father, who probably doesn't make as much money and really doesn't care about the kids, because chances are he's not going to be as invested in the kids as their biological father. Oh, but that's okay. You pre-vetted him because you were jumping on his sausage while you were still married. So he's obviously good for the kids, right? But you queens deserve better. Yep, that's like this gorilla saying he deserves $1 million just for being a gorilla.
He and I have gone to, marriage conferences and read so many books together, and we have set time aside every single morning to have coffee and connect with each other. We are constantly sending each other podcasts and books, and because he's gone through divorce, I've gone through divorce, we have agreed we are never going to go through that pain again. But we also, some of that pain that comes with divorce is watching your children suffer, and we don't ever want our kids to experience anything remotely close to that ever again. Now, I have to say, this does not apply to all situations. There are some situations with abuse and things like that where, yes, you need to leave. I am not talking to those situations. I'm talking to the people who they just don't get along, or they don't like their spouse or whatever, and they're like, man, I could probably be happier somewhere else. One of the comments that was on this video, he said something about how it was the best decision for him, but the worst decision for his kids. And man, I was like, yes, I resonate with that. Because I can find happiness and peace and joy and all of that, but the children, oh, it's devastating. So choose your hard. My recommendation, and take it or leave it, is to at least try the hard first before you break your family on purpose. Try going to counseling, try the books, try all of that, and send this to somebody if you're thinking about leaving your partner, because partner, what they're telling you is, let's do this hard before we have to do that hard.
Now, the third act of this video, she brought it home. That was actually pretty good, and I'm giving her credit. Now, consider this. There's a pattern here. This female dating coach is, number one, married, and number two, giving some pretty based advice. Something tells me that she really isn't a successful dating coach, not because she's not saying the right things, because she definitely is hitting the target most of the time right there. It's because she's saying some hard truths there that I'm pretty sure the bulk of women don't want to hear it. That last piece of advice that she said was, try the first hard first. Try the hardest part of making the relationship work first. And she also said, before she closed with that, she said she was talking to women who are not in abusive relationships. That's a kicker right there, because you understand, most of these queens, they'll consider anything abuse. You tell them, hey, stop spending the money that we're saving. Abuse. And if you tell her, hey, listen, honey, I'm concerned about your weight. You put on like 70 freaking pounds since we got married. Oh, the emotional abuse. He's calling me fat. Oh, he's like, no, he's concerned about your health there. He's actually seeing a decline in your health, and he's saying, hey, I want you to live longer. Or let's say you decide to, just lay around in bed all day, and you've been doing that for the last 2 years, and he tells you, hey, you got to get out of bed, and you have to walk around. Oh, abuse. He's not letting me relax. Ladies, if we used emotional abuse, I mean, the moment that you decide not to wet his whistle, taste the sausage, drain the eclair, if you know what I mean, that could be considered abuse too. Right? Using that standard. I mean, maybe you're married to a good guy who's going to drop some subtle hints, like he'll get you a shake weight for Christmas. He'll get you some horse riding lessons for your birthday. He starts taking you more often to boba tea shops and tell him to drop in extra thick bobas in there for you to suck on. Little hints. The point is, he's putting in the work to try to fix things, get things back on track. I mean, it's no secret that women are the ones who always go with their fifis and say, hey, I gotta find myself. I mean, why is it that 70% plus of all divorces are put in by women? In some areas, it's as high as 85%. Ladies, do you know what you're gonna find when you get back on the carousel? A whole lot of meat, a bunch of lube, and very few guys who are gonna give an F about you. I mean, what the hell am I saying? Don't listen to this gorilla. You go out there and slay, queen.
Damn, skip me.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.